So what are variables? So let me just create a new file with the name variables.py, and this is a crash course, so we won't be going into data types and variables, but we'll rather learn how to create what all things are required in order to create a calculator. So first of all, what are variables? Variables are something that hold data. So let's create a comment, and in case you don't know what are comments, comments are something that allow you to actually execute, to write something that is not executed. So what I'll do is I'll just add in a comment, and you will notice that this thing is not executed when we run the program. So now let's add in our hello world program, and if you will notice that Eclipse is actually adding some suggestions, and it is actually helping us by adding in things that are required. So how are variables declared? Variables are declared by giving a variable name equal to the value that we want to put into a variable. So once I print the variable, you'll notice that we have an error, and Eclipse does a great job of telling us what the error is. You can actually debug your application and perform changes in case changes are required, and there is an X mark over here which will tell you what the error is. So as you can see, if we hover over the X mark, you can add a breakpoint which will stop the application before this line, and which will allow you to fix the application or debug it. And if you hover over the X mark, you will notice that it is expecting something and we are not giving it something. So that's an error which you can solve, but right now let's just stick to the variables. So variables are something that allow you to hold data. So for example, in our case, let's just go to file, run as, and run Python. So as you can see, the first line is the print statement and the second line is 1, whereas we have asked the Eclipse, the IDE, to print variable name, but it is printing the value inside variable name. So let's declare another variable and one more variable which will add up two things. So for a basic calculator, we need to add up two things. So right now what we are doing is we are just adding up two variables, and we are actually adding up the variables and not the value inside it. So I hope you can understand what I'm trying to convey. So the output is 3, that is 1 plus 2. So the data inside the variables is added by the IDE, and data may vary, but variables are added in actual program. So I hope you are trying to understand what I'm trying to convey, and this is kind of something that is quite basic for any programming language, may it be Python or C# or C++. So all the best guys, happy learning.